Jim Keith wrote a book called Black Helicopters Over America. He talked about FEMA camps even before FEMA camps, became a modern thing to talk about. He wrote about that a long time ago. Understand the Security and Prosperity Partnership of North America. Understand the Texas Transcorridor. George Carlin talked about the New World Order before his death. There was a video on YouTube called George Carlin Nails It, where he talks about how we're owned by the elite of society. They removed that video, by the way. I don't even know where to find that video anymore. They're going to put foreign troops inside the United States. They're already putting American troops under foreign control of the United Nations. The government is nationalizing the homes, Countrywide Financial. The government is nationalizing the banks. The governments are nationalizing the auto industry. It's no longer General Motors, it's Government Motors. Understand how they're trying to put everybody into debt, credit card debt. They're putting students into debt with these student loans. If they can make everybody in debt, we basically become their slaves or their indentured servants. Look up the JFK speech. He talks about the New World Order and secret societies and how people are trying to take away our liberties. And that was probably the reason he was assassinated. Ian Crane talks about the hoax of peak oil and how they're trying to get everybody acclimated to paying a lot for gasoline. Look up the phrase Codex Alimentaris and how that's associated with the Frankenfood and how they're ruining natural foods all over the world. And they're basically ruining any mid-tier farmers. Skull and Bones is another group of the New World Order. Eisenhower gave a speech similar to John F. Kennedy. Eisenhower talks about the dangers of those who control the industrial military complex. So go listen to the Eisenhower industrial military complex speech. Go look up the Project for the New American Century. It calls for a new Pearl Harbor. That was released like a year before 9/11. Go look up and read the report from Iron Mountain. It's incredible how they talk about manipulating the masses of the people, and they call for the fact that they've got to keep the masses of the people always afraid of something, whether it be perpetual war or global warming hoax or what have you. There's symbolism all throughout this. Also, look up and read about chemtrails. I haven't made my mind up on chemtrails, but with everything else I've seen, it wouldn't surprise me. The problem I have in my mind about chemtrails, I don't know how they could keep that a secret. I just don't know how they could, fill the planes up with the poison and keep it a secret with all the people that would needed to be involved with all these airplanes. I'm not saying one way or the other on the chemtrails thing. I'm just saying I have an open mind about it. I just haven't made my mind up on it. Look up the video on Bohemian Grove. I think I already mentioned that. Understand that fluoride is put out into the population to make us docile and to not get excited about all the crap that they're doing to us. They give fluoride to prison populations to make them docile. Fluoride, Ritalin, Zoloft, Prozac, aspartame are all pharmaceutical drugs that are using to destroy America. We have a diabetes epidemic, we have a cancer epidemic, we have an obesity epidemic. The pharmaceutical companies look upon sick people as a revenue stream. So there is no incentive for the pharmaceutical companies to heal us. They simply look at the sick people and look at the opportunity to make money. I could go into the cancer fraud. I've spent a lot of time researching all the different things about cancer, but I don't want to do that on this video. There's a lot of symbolism involved, the all-seeing eye, the pyramids, the pentagrams. I'm not an expert on the symbolism, but it's amazing. If you want an example, a recent example, look at the London Olympics logo and how they say that's supposed to be 2012, but Ian Crane explains how the London Olympics logo spells out the word Zion. That is extremely creepy to me. I gotta admit, that looks very, very weird. How the London Olympics logo can be transformed to spell out the word Zion. It's very, very strange. Ian Crane's video, Fool Me Once, goes into that, I believe. If it's not Fool Me Once, it's Ian Crane's video, NWO effed, and they know it. Look up and read Project for a New American Century. I already talked about that. Club of Rome. Georgia Guidestones, I think I mentioned that. Okay. I'm also not a big fan of mainstream religion. I think everybody knows that I'm a Christian and I believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ, but I believe mainstream religion has been taken over by hucksters and prosperity preachers, people like Joel Osteen. I'm not a big fan of his. And the mainstream universities are polluting the minds of our young people. They're, I think atheism is on the rise, and people are, holding on to a material universe, and they're ripping the idea of a soul or an afterlife out of our universities, so that it's basically not a cool thing to believe you have an eternal soul anymore. Anyway, the purpose of this video was to give a list of things for people that are not familiar with what's going on and who are completely oblivious to the New World Order and all the stuff that they're doing. So I'm going to try to make little edits on the video. So if you want to become awake, and hopefully this video will share some of the topics that you need to study. And wisdom does not come cheaply. You have to study and do a lot of research in order to understand the world and everything that's going on in the world around us. It's not something that I can impart in a two-part video series that it takes a long time and a lot of effort to research and read these books and understand the connections and how these evil bastards are ruining the world that we live in, and they're trying to turn you and I into domesticated pets. So God bless every single one of you, and hopefully this video will be useful to at least some people. Take care.